Hello, this is Sarah from Velo Works, and what does our next cycle tour and a Spitfire have in common? Come and join us while Paul does a tune-up on my bike ready for our cycle tour, and I'll explain why. Come down to our workshop in Bristol, and I've asked Paul to do a tune-up on my bike, not a full service. I do recommend if you're going on a cycle tour, have a full service on your bike. We might come across some stuff while Paul's doing the tune-up anyway. So we are going to the Netherlands, and Paul's going to ask me some questions and we're going to just discuss it while he's tuning up the bike.
Hello. So as Sarah mentioned, I've got a quick tune-up to do on the bike. It's probably not been used massively since we went to France. I did a big service before then. Even though we did a big trip in it, it's not done loads of miles, so it doesn't need a strip down, just needs a quick check. And what I love about this bike, other than it's been all custom built with a nice dynamo, charging devices, all loveliness, hand-built wheels with all really good specification, and Sarah's granddad bought her the frame. The one thing I love the most is it's got our old business, the Cycle Hub sticker. This sticker has got to be almost 20 years old, so that makes me smile that I've seen that. So let's crack on, do a bit of tuny, and we'll have a chat with Sarah and see what's the point of this lovely trip to the Netherlands.
So ask me anything, Paul.
So why is it that we are going on an 9-day cycle tour across the Netherlands, including lots of days riding, a couple of days train here and there, mostly riding?
So Paul and I do like to do a cycle tour with a point. For example, when we went to France last year for 2 weeks cycling, the point was that we wanted to see the Tour de France, obviously also see the French countryside as well. When we've cycle toured in Scotland, there always tends to be a little bit of a point to the cycle tour. The Netherlands, well, it's very exciting because the Netherlands is obviously flat, so tick some of my boxes, although I've heard the wind is quite wild. They love cyclists, so I've heard. If anyone here's cycled in the Netherlands, do tell us your experiences. One of the reasons we are going to the Netherlands is because my grandfather, Ray Racy, was a Spitfire pilot during the war. Towards the end of the war, he was stationed in non-occupied Holland down in the southeast, so near a place called, right, this is going to sound really bad because I won't be able to pronounce it properly, Hertogenbosch, which is actually where Jumbo-Visma are based. We're going to a small town there. We're going to cycle from the port, the Hook of Holland, and we're going to go to the place where my granddad was stationed, a town called Schijndel. A friend of my grandfather's lives there, and he's going to show us where the airbase was and give us a little bit of a history tour.
So what is part 2 of the trip?
Part 2 of the trip is heading up into the north of the Netherlands, and we are going to be going to the field where my grandfather in early 1945 had to make a forced landing into occupied territory. That area of the Netherlands was occupied at the time, and he was flying his Spitfire. We have a full account of what happened. He wrote it all down. He was flying his Spitfire and he had to change from his short-range fuel tank to his long-range fuel tank. It didn't switch over. He had to do a forced landing in a field about 10 to 12 miles from the town of Meppel in the Netherlands. And so we are going to that field. We're meeting some friends of my grandfather's that when he went to see the landing site in 2003, he went with a military historian friend of his from the UK, and they met up with some people who live nearby who I believe are military historians. Last time they took my grandfather to see the house where he hid. Once he'd escaped his plane, he hid in someone's house, they hid him. They then told on him to the local Germans and he was captured and became a prisoner of war.
So what are your aspirations for the trip?
Oh, aspirations. Good one. I think there's 2 parts to this trip. One part is seeing these places that my grandfather was in early 1945 and then went back to in 2003. Sadly, he's no longer with us. But him and I were very close, as was Paul to my granddad. We travelled together. He was also a cyclist, so he had 13 bikes, of which we've still got some of them. So my aspirations for the trip, I don't know whether it will make me feel like I'm closer to him. seeing these places that he saw, doing it by bike. But also I love his history. I love his history of what happened during the war. Very much like talking about it if you asked him. Wrote all his accounts down. We have a lot of information. It would be nice to actually see those places with my own eyes. What's your aspirations for the trip, Paul?
All of what you've said. So I'll find out more about Gigi and what he went through in the war. Meet some people that were close to him. So it'd be really, yeah. So I think it's me not facilitating because you've been doing most of the organising, but being there with you to facilitate the trip and that part of it. I'm really looking forward to getting an early tour in. I think last year we didn't do a tour until May, so it'd be nice to get an early tour in because then we've got the whole summer to do even more tours. So I'm really excited to be back on the Longstaff. Both this bike and my touring bike still have dust from France on it, so yeah, so they're really good, suited for the job of just pootling around the country, different countries. But can I interject with a top tip? So if you've got Shimano shifters and people think that they go to sleep, well, this bike hasn't been used loads recently, and all you have to do is put a little bit of GT85 in the shifter with a little bit of a rag underneath, and they'll come back to life. The clicks will all come back to life. There we go. And the shifter's good to go. I've even had shifters that you look like they're, or feel like they're at the end of their life, and you put some lubricant in them and they come back to life. So there's just a quick top tip while I'm servicing the bike.
Few logistics. We're getting the ferry from Harwich to the Hook of Holland. We believe there's amazing cycle paths everywhere. I've been able to route that a little bit. Anyone who cycled there, let us know if Google Maps is enough to use, or if there's a good app that you used and went well with. We're getting the trains. We're going to be booking those in advance, and you just pay a little bit extra to take your bike on. And we've got a day in Amsterdam to have a look around. This time we are not camping. It's a little bit early in the season for us. Would mean we'd have to take our big down sleeping bags. So we're staying in B&Bs and hostels, which means we don't have to carry so much, and we can also carry some warmer clothes. And I've already started packing. I'm very excited. And any logistic points from you, Paul?
No, so I've got just a front brake to do, a couple of bolts to tighten on this, and then I think we're good to go. All the bearings are nice and smooth. The main thing I've done with these bikes is we both have the same hub in the rear wheel. I probably bored everyone about this. So I take a free hub with us if we had a problem in this area, so it's not going to stop the trip. So that's quite good for both bikes, and that's why we take both bikes. I've made them as standard as I can between the two. So I think, yeah, packing, getting ready, and then just, yeah, being really excited about it, finishing up work and doing some more videos about it, and yeah, getting in the zone for some cycle touring.
So I hope you'll join us. If you follow our Instagram, we'll probably put some stories on there. It's in another couple of weeks. And if not, I'm sure we'll put a longer length video out here. Thank you very much for watching. And if you like what we do, please subscribe.